regardless of the treble.
77.
Almost academic. Van Tripe, rather than a one treble visit, now needs two, or maybe two doubles. No, he has got two trebles, and now double 10.
130.
Some way to stay in it, but instead, Joyce on tops for the win.
He's already spurned a couple of match darts, but
Game
it is
shot
third time lucky for the man from the northeast, Ryan Joyce, with a really good performance against Danny Van Tripe, who started the match absolutely on fire with a 10 darter, but couldn't sustain that form throughout. And Ryan Joyce has enjoyed a very good couple of days.
Head out in charge of the match at the moment.
Dom Taylor, who played on Wednesday and they couldn't play yesterday because there was no room at the inn, so to speak, back today and back with a 6-1 victory against Damien Moll.
Pressure applied by Ruloff, so he'll have choices to make when he returns. Could go bull, could go
140
treble 19 for double 19. Could even go treble 20. I've seen a few players do that. But it is the old-fashioned route, if you like. And the treble gives him a dart at double 5.
85.
Couldn't find it, so Edhouse now has a match at his mercy.
Tops for a 6-3 win. And Richie Edhouse does get the win and sets up a second round match with Ryan Joyce. Not too dissimilar to the first match, really, in that the young back to Q School. He won his card at the first time of asking. Trip back might be on the cards next year because he's got a lot of work to do to retain his status.
91.
Around about £9,000 off the World Championship places on the Pro Tour Order of Merit.
60.
Just goes to show how much his career has kind of declined. The fact that the last time he beat Luke Humphries, it was in a Pro Tour quarter-final. Oh, this is superb. Really
Game
good
shot
from James Wilson, who's producing the kind of darts that got him there that day in 2019. Beat Humphries 6-4 on that occasion.
Yeah, we know he's capable of it, but has been restricted from showing it often enough.
180.
It was a risk that's paid off. And the second dart almost dangling. Treble 17 to stay in the match, and Luke Humphries pulls that wide of the target.
Wilson hasn't had a 100 average on the Pro Tour all year. And he's playing one of the top players on it. And
Game shot and the match.
Apart. That is a stunning showing from the Yorkshireman. A 6-1 success to send Luke Humphries out. Just shoulder barges him out of the tournament. A 64 finish to win the match. And James Wilson records his first three-figure average on the Players' Championship Tour this season. A big reason why. Look at those. Little bit of extra experience and nous. Going to help him turn this tie around.
64.
78 when he comes back. All Van der Velder can do is pile on some pressure, but he'll do that knowing that Desvan has been vulnerable on the outer ring.
140.
And he's only getting one dart at tops.
Game
That's
shot.
all he needs this time. Crashed it in off the marker, and it's all square. Not sure he was interested in that little fist bump there, but he spotted it just as he was passing his opponent. And we do have 3 trebles, but 2 of them were not the ones that he wanted.
$100.
That'll do nicely. Desvan needs at least 2 trebles, probably a maximum.
125.
Well, he does leave a finish, but it's a monster. Van der Velder just needs to stay straight. Tops for the match. And Van der Velder does come through the all-Dutch clash with Jeffrey Desvan. And it might be a case of Desvan losing that match rather than Van der Velder winning it. Fair play to the youngster. He did keep his cool towards the end, but
He mentioned in his first match, did that in the summer series during the
100.
bubble period in the unfortunate times of 2020. Beat Dave Chisnell in the final. Now he's wanting tops to get the better
120.
of the fifth leg in this one. Ed House, though, can take it on throw with 110. D16.
78.
Miss. D20. Hits.
Game shot.
And Ryan Joyce breaks. Close enough encounter, but Joyce has just been better on the doubles than Richie Edhouse.
131.
Ryan, twice as good. In the most
97.
crucial department. And he could win it in style. Another one for double eight. And that
game shot
is a glorious way to close out the game. Ryan Joyce's finishing was just so much better than Richie Edhouse's in that game. Madhouse will be left to rue all of those missed darts at double. But once again, a meeting here in Barnsley between this darting duo goes the only way it's ever gone. They've met in this great town 7 times, and Ryan Joyce has won all 7. Search to lose his tour card. Van der Velder is ranked below him at 107 on the order of merit.
$180.
Well, that puts the pressure on.
Game shot.
And that's a rescue act from Van der Velder. 12 for the match. And it will be really disappointing for James Wilson to have beaten the second seed Luke Humphries only to crash out to a fellow non-seed.
60.
The only thing that can save him now is a big finish. All about the first dart here. And that is not what he wanted. That was, but it's too late.
121.
And interestingly, just stayed there. Would have been on a nice double had he found a different treble.
Game shot.
But it doesn't
and
matter because Van der Velder does once again rescue a shot and get over the line. Wilson disappointed.
134.
But he has left himself perfectly placed if Jurjen van der Velder doesn't take this out. 11. All the treble. The ball.
96.
Ryan relieved. Well, that could be a hindrance. Clear sight at double 10, just stopping Ryan Joyce and stepping, getting in line with the target,
Game
hitting
shot.
the target. And leading the match 3-2. Remember this, the board final on a board. Mervyn King 5-2. That's not going to go for Van der Velder, so Joyce will return, looking at the 110 for a 5-2 advantage of his own. Too good there, Van der Velder, so he will have to waste a dart if he does come back.
$74.
Double 18 missed, giving Van der Velder an opportunity to break, and he takes
Game
that
shot.
opportunity. This game is not over yet. Aaron Monk's run continues. He's in the last 16 and he's beaten James Wade to get there. And he was right.
$59.
So double 16 to complete the job. Double 8.
24.
Last chance for Van der Velder. Bullseye or treble 17. makes his choice. Gambles. Double 17. Doesn't happen.
51.
Needed the double to leave. Double top. Has left it after 3 darts. Will he get any more darts? How many more darts does Ryan Joyce need?
Game
no
shot
more.
And the match.
Ryan Joyce is through to the last 16 here at Players Championship 24. A 6-3 success over Gerwen van der Velder. And Joyce goes through to face Christian Kist.
They played each other yesterday, Chris. A real tight affair that went the full distance. Well, Chris Dobie just getting over the line.
Yeah, first victory on the floor. This could be the first one on the PDC TV stream. But it doesn't look like it's going to be, the way Van Gerwen started the match. A 180 to open each of the first 2 legs. Wins today against Adam Smith, Neil, Connor Scott
41.
and Pascal Ruprecht to get to this last 16 stage, which is as far as he's been in the 3 days here. But now he's hunting down something special. Oh, Michael Van Gerwen with 6 perfect darts, and he's left 150 for a perfect leg.
What a start to this match.
25.
There's something really special going on with Michael at the moment. The focus, the desire. Is it perfection? It absolutely is perfection by Michael Van Gerwen. What an outstanding start to this game. Absolutely no emotion from him. That treble 17 to set up the 150. So many players are using that treble 20, double 15. Picture perfect from Van Gerwen. 3 legs in, 121 average. And still smashing the treble 20.
180.
And as a player, when you're going up against someone who's hitting 180s, that's the sound foundation of every leg of darts. And it just means that Chris Dobie's got to follow that.
Well, that was his 27th 9-dart finish, Michael Van Gerwen. Believe it or not, it's an astonishing amount of 9-darters. Nobody has hit more than that. And 2 of them actually came in the same match once on the PDC Pro Tour. He was threatening to do something similar then, but Dobie's having to lift his game, and is.
5 maximums in 3 legs.
59.
And this 4th leg has been absolutely fantastic for Chris Dobie. Shows the character that he has these days.
Game shot.
And that is a beautiful 11-darter. Michael Van Gerwen was outstanding in the first 3 legs. You can easily buckle under those circumstances.
Yeah, true.
Final
Check
average.
what it was. Yeah, good point. But if he was aware, then maybe you're right. Maybe it did just cause a little distraction. It's still ridiculously high, this from Michael Van Gerwen.
Chris, I haven't even looked at my notes or anything about this game. Sometimes you just got to sit back and enjoy everything that you're seeing. A real masterclass of darts from Michael Van Gerwen in particular. Just a joy to watch.
131.
Revenge, his best serve cold, isn't it? Remember, Dobie defeated Van Gerwen yesterday and kind of poked the wasp's nest.
100.
Now he's about to be stung.
Well, it was missed doubles in the previous leg. Don't anticipate that to happen, and it doesn't. 5-2 Van Gerwen.
84.
To defend it. Well, he's making sure he's getting the job done here. Beautiful darts, treble 13, the target with the last one. Leaves himself on 58 to end the match with an 11-darter.
100.
And an absolute classic of a performance from Michael Van Gerwen. He's played his A game. He's been a joy to watch. That was magnificent. Michael Van Gerwen wins that game 6-3 against a shell-shocked Chris Dobie, who played his part in an absolutely terrific game. Great sportsmanship between them. And Chris will always be magnanimous in defeat, but that was an absolute magnificent performance. And highlighted by that wonderful 9-darter there, the 150 finishes. And we look at some beautiful numbers. Brilliant on the outer ring from Michael Van Gerwen. 3 from 3 from Chris Dobie's not bad either.
It is a last leg decider in that match between Gary Anderson and Martin Loopman. Anderson has a throw in it. Stephen Bunting trying to avoid such drama
58.
here. Gurney needs something big to try and ruffle his feathers somewhat.
Good start. He should look at treble 19. He does it.
177.
Leave double 8, but Stephen Bunting's in the mood for this Shanghai. Just takes his time, assesses the situation, gets himself right.
60-20 tops. 60. 20. Tops.
Game shot.
Beautifully done by Stephen Bunting, who moves now within 1.
You watch Stephen Bunting there. I was watching Daryl Gurney. Look at that picture. Same process. Takes his time. And he'll eye up. Treble 20. He looks at the score of Gurney, so he's going to need the bullseye potentially. Or double 11.
62.
In the last chance saloon. Oh, he's thrown the flatty. And he's
Game
pulled
shot.
it off a tree. What a bit of flamboyant throwing from Daryl Gurney. I thought when he went that route.
And at least 6 darts from 161. And that's a good feeling when you know it's for the match. Just keep it simple. Be thinking, if he doesn't hit the treble here, why doubt him?
137.
Nothing that Daryl Gurney can do. He's played his part in another
57.
wonderful match. But Stephen Bunting has been superb this week. Same procedure again, but double 12. And it's
Game
brilliance
shot
from
and the
Bunting,
match.
and another exceptional performance from Stephen Bunting. So polished, so fluent. They share a moment there because Daryl Gurney played his part in a cracking game there, but it's all about Stephen Bunting at the moment, and a mouth-watering semi-final against Gary Anderson, 2 of the real informed players. That vital, and like I said, for players like Johnny Clayton to go into the Grand Prix next week with a big win under your belt, that's all good for the confidence.
96. 57.
It's a chance for Joyce. It's double 18. Just double checking, resetting himself.
96.
You will see Ryan Joyce leave double 16 as much as he can. He's absolutely dynamite on that double. But Johnny Clayton can't finish, so it's still an advantage to
54.
Joyce. Decision to make on 18. You have seen players split here because he's so good on double 8. That's his thought process.
Game shot.
That's the reason why he'd rather have a couple of darts at double 8, double 4 rather than go for double 9. Good decision there from Ryan Joyce, and to high like he has been to get to a semi-final today. And that's a big win over Michael van Gerwen. He'll make sure he lets Chris Dobie know on the journey home that he lost to Michael van Gerwen.
121.
Ryan Joyce beat him. There's always good banter between all the North East lads. Be even more banter if he can take the title today.
100. 177.
This is where Ryan Joyce is very good because it's advantage Clayton, you feel. Double 11. I would
Game
absolutely
shot.
say never to go for treble 18 on 118. But of course, Ryan Joyce proves me wrong. That's a brilliant double 11 there. He was a collector of Pokemon cards, and I think he's actually sold them for a hefty profit.
140.
He'll go to the bar. All of a sudden, Joyce becomes favourite for this leg. Set it up absolutely beautifully, and the 144 was looking inviting for Johnny Clayton. Now you feel it's a must hit. But why is he an elite player?
120.
He's so cute at hitting big finishes like this. Big advantage to Ryan Joyce. We've talked about how good he is this area of the board.
Game shot.
5-2 to Ryan Joyce. Thinking there, I think he thought that the first 2 were so good he can fill it up, but well, he didn't need to go for it, Johnny Clayton, but he's looking for that spark, isn't he, in that 161, mate, to just give him something. And the fact that Ryan Joyce Well, that last start left a bogey number, means he can't see out the game. And a chance for Johnny Clayton to reduce the deficit. 88.
Game shot.
Is he just delaying the inevitable? Ryan Joyce straight away back at the hockey. He should go down to 19s here. What do I know?
74.
He leaves a 2-darter. And he's 2 darts away from this match. Not an awful lot Johnny Clayton can do about it. Just a little reminder that he's still there. Well, Ryan Joyce will look at treble 19. It's double 12 for the match.
85.
Big moments for Johnny Clayton.
96. Game shot.
It's a wonderful performance from Ryan Joyce. He is in the final, and for Johnny Clayton, big smiles on his face, but a potential missed opportunity. Ryan Joyce, so laid back. You would think he's just been beaten there, but he is in the final. Well, his throw looked as good as I've seen it for a long, long time. He's got new darts, and when I asked him about them, he said they've got some knobbly bit at the end of it, is the only difference there. He said he's picked up his darts 7 times since Blackpool. He's had 2 sessions with Ryan Searle.
145.
He's just playing off his natural breed there he has. But like I said, don't discount Ryan Joyce, and people watching now won't do that because he'll just get on with his own thing. He hates tops though, I will tell you that.
Double 10. Well, doesn't particularly like double 10 either. Tops now.
Game shot.
Wonderful from Gary Anderson.
And what's really hard for Ryan Joyce, one, he's a great front runner, Dan, and second, he could have been and should have been 2-0 up. You know, going above the treble 20 or under the 20 treble, he can
180
direction, but Gary Anderson just looks so good right now. Grand Prix next week. I'm excited for Gary Anderson the back end of the year as well.
Well, I know my predictions have been rank awful. I did make one to Murph, and I've got a feeling we could see him go a long, long way in the Grand Slam, because that's one that he has been determined to win for a long time. But looking at the Grand Prix, got Jose de Souza in round 1. I think that's a pretty kind draw. Double 11 now for Ryan Joyce.
Game shot.
He gets it this time. That's what he can do, though.
Look, he should be telling himself that you've got to be, you know, the dart I've seen this week, you've got to be professional. 60. You've got to prepare well. But he's got it, you know. He's a great, great player. And to see him in the final now, like I said, it's near surprise to me.
134.
Well, the 134 does leave a finish, but Anderson is playing well enough. You think he'll tidy this up. Double 5. And Gary Anderson does go 4-1 up. Halfway there to victory.
Raw and to be really pleased about the situation, but he'll just shrug it off because that's in the DNA of Gary Anderson. That's why we love him so bits, because that's what we'll hear from him. You know, I don't think he'll ever admit how happy he would be, but you know, deep down he must be well chuffed the way he's playing right now. Ryan Joyce, a 148.
140.
I said Danny needs to break Gary, but he's really good on his own throw at the moment. It's Gary that's getting the opportunities on Ryan's throw. This is a must-hit for Ryan Joyce.
Game shot.
And puts it straight in.
Yeah, those
a little bit drawn to Dave Chisnell for him to finally break his long duck of not winning a big major TV title. It's surely got to come soon.
Well, I was waiting for the trebles to come soon for Ryan Joyce. He's just a couple of treble 19s there makes him a favourite, because 145 is a tough ask. Well, it's a very tough ask normally. but not for Gary Anderson. Not the way he's playing right now. Absolutely outstanding.
Darts hasn't looked tough at all for Gary Anderson this week. Joyce needs a biggie.
$100.
Even a ton is not enough at this stage. He'll start in the 19s, a single 19. He's been so good on tops.
96.
The only hope for Ryan Joyce is Gary Anderson's worst double on the dartboard, I think, is double 10. And Ryan Joyce from absolutely nowhere is back in this match. We've seen a spectacular finish from Gary Anderson in the previous leg, and that one is just as good. It's a wry smile because he's thinking, where are we at the beginning of the game?
Again, that's been the problem. Aside from the last few legs, the scoring power hasn't been there often enough from Ryan Joyce.
140.
That's an incredible 2 darts there, right on the right-hand side of the hockey. You're throwing it over 8 foot there. Well, Gary Anderson was asked some questions the past couple of legs that Ryan Joyce took.
98.
Well, he's answered it perfectly well on his throw after 9 darts, 81. Looking good for an 11 dart, a double 12.
Game shot.
That's what I'm talking about, Dan McCarthy. Outstanding once again from Gary Anderson. Some questions were asked about 2 or 3 minutes ago, and Ryan Joyce is just beginning to get himself back in the game.
59.
And then the afterburners from Gary Anderson, a sublime 11 darter. And he's opened up this with a 91 and a 180. The finishing line is in sight.
100.
Yeah, that's the frustration there. One, where it's landed, how the dart is sitting. But you've been magnificent today, Ryan Joyce. An absolute credit to yourself.
96.
And your whole team around you. You're just walking into someone in a real special mode.
Double 5. Right off Gary Anderson at your absolute peril. He has, without question, been the best player in Barnsley this week, and he's continually gone one better. Quarter-final Wednesday, semi-final Thursday, and today he has beaten Ryan Joyce by 8 legs to 4 with another outstanding display in the final. Ryan Joyce could certainly be proud of his efforts today, but he's come up short, unfortunately, when it's mattered. 103.5. Pretty much par for the course for Anderson this week. Look at the checkout success. Deadly on the doubles. 8 out of 12. Anderson, the winner of Players' Championship 20.